At the beginning of summer 2023, I began working on a replica of a German MG-34 universal machine gun from World War II. It would just be a prop, or in my case, a wall display in my basement. I used wood, PVC pipe, and electrical conduit to approximate the appearance of the real thing. I like how it turned out, but it looks kinda lonely. So how about a Russian PPSh-41 to keep it company? With the MG-34, the shoulder stock was the last piece that I made. I wasn't very confident about getting the shape right. But for the Russian PPSh-41, the shoulder stock will actually be the first piece I make. To attain the desired thickness, I'll need to glue several 3/4 inch boards together, while leaving a space to drop in the trigger assembly, which will be made of plastic or PVC. I haven't quite figured that part out yet. Making sure that the glue is spread evenly across both surfaces is key. Pulling them apart for a few minutes before nails and clamping allows the glue to get even more tacky. Since I'll be cutting away most of this later, I don't want any voids or glue bubbles showing up in the final shape. I'm only using nails in the outer areas that will be cut away later. They'll keep the edges lined up while the clamps will squeeze the four boards into one solid piece. I needed just a little more height to the stock, so another piece of poplar was glued to bring it to 6 inches. The width is a little too thick, so it'll take several passes through my table saw plus a hand saw to get it down to about 1 7/8 inches. A planer or a band saw would have been much quicker, but I don't have either one of those, so I try to make do with what I have, and it takes a little bit longer, but eventually it comes out okay. On my computer, I scanned a photo and enlarged it before tracing its outline in Apple's Pages, which is like Microsoft Word or Google Docs. I printed it onto multiple sheets of paper, taped them together, and I'll use it as a guide for cutting with my scroll saw. There are 2, possibly 3 lines that are straight for this gun stock, And I'll line up the ones that meet at 90 degrees to each other with the upper corner. It's a natural place for alignment and also 2 fewer cuts that I won't need to make. When I'm finished with the scroll saw, I'll remove most of the paper by hand, and the rest will be sanded away because there's going to be so much sanding. A lot of sanding. I went through a variety of sanding discs. 60 grit was used to remove the bulk of the wood, but as I got closer to the final shape, I switched to 150, which is much finer and removes the material much more slowly. I started off with a stain called Early American, and I've had it for a really long time. The solid pigments no longer mixed very well with the liquid, but I gave it a try anyway. It's definitely way too light, but since I already started, I'll just keep going and do the whole piece. Before the first color, the Early American, before that has the chance to dry and seal the pores of the wood, I'll come back with a second coat of red oak, which is a much darker stain and should still be able to soak into the wood. Since this is probably my last chance to darken the wood, I'll let it soak in for maybe half an hour before wiping off the excess. After the stain is completely dry, say 24 hours, I'll use a foam brush to apply a couple of coats of satin polyurethane. During World War II, the Russians probably didn't spend much time finishing their gun stocks. The brushed-on polyurethane is okay. I could buff this out a little and call it a day. but I really like a smooth, buttery finish to any wood project I take on. So get ready for some wet sanding. I can't do a Homer Simpson impersonation of him saying, butter. But that's what I hear in my head when I run my fingers over this satiny smooth finish. But I'm not done yet. It's smooth now, but also a little hazy. Plus, I would like to get back some of the warmth of the reddish color. So I'll just wipe on a little more of the stain, wipe off most of it, let the whole thing dry again, and then finish up with a satin spray of the same polyurethane. This looks much better. I really like it. And after using the ultrafine automotive wet sandpaper, I can't bring myself to distress it, weather it, or beat up this gun stock to make it look battle-worn. It's going to have to live out the rest of its life looking fresh and new. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this has been Bob's Workshop. Take care.